What's up, guys? This is TheMichaelm1997. I'm really sorry to do this late review, but I'm doing a late review of The Wolf Among Us, Episode 2. You can see it right there. It's called Episode 2, Smoke and Mirrors. I'm going to be reviewing the rest of the series, actually on my iOS, which I'm recording on right now. In case you don't know, it's a mini iPad. So let me just say right now, this is actually developed by Telltale. If you actually seen my first episode or review of episode 1, which is called Faith, you know a lot more about this series that I'm doing. Now, I had to actually review this game, which really recently came out in February. I didn't review it then because, I don't know, I was just busy and I was taking a break from like reviewing games and all during that little time. Then I came back, I just couldn't do it in time and all that stuff, and just couldn't do it. But here I am back again, and I'm gonna not try to expand this review out too long because I don't want to repeat myself over and over for the next few episodes that I'll be reviewing over time. Actually, the next day after that, over on and more, spreading out. So let's just start this off. That Wolf Among Us 2, in my opinion, it has been getting a lot of mixed reviews. I've seen a lot of 7 and 6 out of 10s and 8s, and that's like some good scores. And a lot of people ask me, does it live up to is it a good second episode, or does it leave off where the first one left off and really makes more momentum? Well, yes, it does. But it does have one minor little problem, and I'll go into that later on. So let's just start off with the story. Hang on. Sorry for shaking there. But the story in this game takes place right after the events of the first cliffhanger part, where I'm going to spoil it here. Before I even go into this review, I'm just going to say that each episode will spoil the last episodes. So, spoiler alert. So, in the ending of episode 1, Wolf finds out that Snow's head has been decapitated from her body and up on the doorstep in front of his office, or apartment, wherever he lives. And basically, the game takes place right after that, and it really starts off with an interrogation, and it basically continues and also reflects on the fallout of these citizens who have seen it and heard about the effect of this person's murder. And the story continues on throughout this effect, with Bigby still trying to figure out who this murderer is, why they're doing it, and what is their reason. And that's really how the story really plays off with this episode. And that's and it's not really a bad story by any means necessary. I mean, I have notes here because I had a lot of notes from the games, and a lot of my notes were based off of this episode here. Yeah. Now, the story also revolves around a few new characters, like Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk, or Jack and Jill. You may notice him; he's awesome in this game as well. There are some other characters that I won't go into that that you can figure out for yourself if you've played it already. That like Narissa, she's another character. I won't spoil who her fairy tale persona is. You can figure that out for yourself. But all these characters really have a lot of cool information. That's really cool writing, which is Telltale is, I think, really well done so far. I mean, writing in games is so important, especially in important games like these. And the writing in this is really well done. I'm just considering it now, so I won't repeat it too much. I might just tab on it in later reviews, but Telltale is like the developers and the writers over there. They know how to write a great story and how to write great dialogue. So they know what they're doing when it comes to writing, and they do a great job with this game. Now, back to story-wise. The problem I have with this game, with story, is the progression, or how can I say, progression, or pacing of it all together. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad by any means necessary, but I feel like instead of how Faith kept us walking or running towards momentum, Smoke and Mirrors is just in the name as it is. You're stuck in the smoke and you're walking. Now, that's not a big problem, as you still get to see a lot more story, and the story revolves around a lot more better, but it's not as well done as how Faith did it, in my opinion. As in Faith, they kept on moving it faster and quicker, and every action had quick momentum to it. This one is a lot more slower, and the snap doesn't really pay off that well. That's not a bad thing overall, because this game is still really as good. I just felt like it didn't have the same speed. And the payoff in this game, which is another cliffhanger, sorry for that, but another cliffhanger, but I still think it's really a cliffhanger overall. I mean, it's not as strong as how sudden as the first cliffhanger was, how that one was a really good cliffhanger, but it still was a good cliffhanger overall in my opinion. I didn't think it was bad by any means necessary. So anyone who says the payoff isn't really good, I wouldn't say it is. There are some great twists and turns in this story that'll surprise you. But if you're looking for answers in this game, you might get more questions. There's a lot more questions than answers in this game, and they won't answer too many questions. They're up to you to decide in later on in the game. Now, that's all based on how it goes by. Now, of course, there's choices and there's dialogue and there's consequences like always. That's when it comes to gameplay. Now, of course, if you see my first review, or if you play any other Telltale games, it's really simple. You move around with the right analog stick, left analog stick, you look around with the reticle and right analog stick. That's simple. That's really on consoles. Just move that. PC, to play with the mouse, you know that already. And of course, when it comes to the tablet, I'm just going to make this tablet. You basically just tap around and you basically look around for items and move around the camera by touching the corners. That's how I played. I played the iOS actually. I had no technical hiccups during my experience. And there's some gameplay overall is really well done. I really am surprised by the choices, how the choices in episode 1 when it comes to who you chase out of the bar. And if you lie to the beast in episode 1, they have big setups or choice adds to this one. They basically have different dialogue decisions, and I really do like that. And what I really don't like about this game and these series and Telltale overall, this game series, is it's kind of like a little mini Netflix series, and that's kind of cool in my opinion. I always like that, so that's kind of good for me. Gameplay, like I said before, you still have your quick time events, you have your choices dialogue, and the choices here are still really good. A lot of people say that you're really stuck spinning your wheels, but I don't think so. I don't think it's spinning your wheels too much. Just spinning your wheel once, you just let go. That's it. It's not too many problems, really, as I said before. Technical problems that I experienced in episode 1, I haven't really seen pop up in this game at all, really. I didn't see no technical slow stuttering. I didn't see no sudden abrupt transitions. I didn't experience none of that, so I don't know what people are saying, but this is just a late review overall, so I have to say that. Overall, Wolf Among Us is a great $5 package. That's 95 minutes. It took me that long. Now, the thing about this is, in my opinion, I always had choices in this game that I wouldn't do in The Walking Dead, and I loved doing that as Bigby. The thing about this is it always I always liked the idea of Bean's character, who wasn't being watched every 5 minutes by a little girl. But the thing about Walking Dead was it kind of changed how I felt about video games in general, about characters, about how I do consequences. But in Wolf Among Us, you play an entirely different character, and you're allowed to do whatever you want, and I love that. So you can do things as talk nicely to someone, or in the next second you just throw a bot at someone's face and make them bleed. It's amazing, as some of the choices here are actually really well done, as to punching a guy's face in and don't stop, or just show him a photo and smashing his face to the point of anger. That's just really well done here. I really do like that. And like always in other games like Walking Dead and Walking Dead Season 2 so far, I always made my first save file my main way, how the game should have went. But due to the game's just fantastic writing, I always felt like I wanted to play again. The 4 save files I have, I always wanted to play over and over due to just how well done the writing is. Just amazing, I must say overall. So I'm going to keep the video real short and sweet and tasty, so just look at the reflection. But overall, out of 10, I'm going to give this game an overall score of an 8.5 out of 10, in my opinion. It's nothing bad about any necessary, while the progression or pacing of the game is a little bit slower than Faith. I kind of understand that, to kind of lead up to the mid-season episode, which is episode 3, Cooking Mile. But still, I wish it was a little bit more well done when it comes to that way. That's the only reason why it only gets an 8.5 out of 10, in my opinion. I really do think we should buy this season pass altogether. I recommend getting season pass altogether, so you won't have to worry about paying it later on. That's the only thing I say. I do know that everyone already bought this because, well, it's an amazing game. It's an amazing franchise. And Telltale knows what they're doing as a series. They learn their mistakes from Jurassic Park and Back to the Future when it comes to ridiculous stories. They now focus on more darker and really well done stories. So that's a good job there. I want to also say that I'm really glad this series, and I'm really glad of Walking Dead overall. Now, I'll be reviewing the rest of these episodes in the next days. So, Quick and Out, I'll review the next day, and in Sheep's Clothing, I'll review the next day. I'll also be reviewing Walking Dead Season 2, House Divided, and I believe that's one, the third one's called In Harm's Way. That's one I played already. So, that's it, guys. Please like the video, comment below, and subscribe. Also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'm also on there all the time. I would really just like to say, I hope you guys actually watch these videos. I know these are late reviews, but I'm just going to be popping them like that due to the release of Inner clothing, and it's really doing that for. So that's all I gotta say. So I'm really surprised I actually kept this one actually short, 10 minutes so far. Bye guys.